Hello, 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 hello.
Hello.
Hi. This is now inaccurate, as you can see, because unfortunately, Diamond Fight is not here because
They're just not.
they're just not. However,
They're mysterious.
I'm filling in.
Yeah.
I'm the CVS brand Diamond Fight, Kevin Bunch.
Great value.
Great value.
yeah, and yeah. So hello, this is I'm Stuart. This is British Mascots on Parade. It is a evening panel at done by me. So if you're here for sort of an academic analysis of this stuff, that's not going to be what it is. It's going to be quite silly. So strap in for that. We're going to have a look at some of these British mascots and what makes them tick and where they came from and where they went and what you think of them, which I know is with great fondness, as is everyone's. Also, this is going to be slightly technically inept, but I did it on purpose as a hilarious joke. So, you know, enjoy that aspect of it as well. So let's crack on. Bear with me a moment. Is this working?
It's not super
Okay.
loud.
Yeah.
It's not super loud. I think I'm quite loud anyway, so it's fine. Yeah.
Keep talking.
Hello. I'm still... Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh, that's a lot. Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Technology.
Yeah. Bear with me. Right. I did. I'm going to have to do it this way. It's very unfortunate. There he is. This is Horace.
There's the boy.
Yeah. And this is Horace from 1982, which is, of course, best known for the tragic split of the Doobie Brothers and also the tragic release of Hungry Horace for the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. This is what he looks like in the game, so you can't, for once, say that the box art is dishonest. You know, this is absolutely representative in every way.
No, I mean,
what you
this
will
inspired Nintendo's approach with the NES and the accurate box art.
Yeah.
They were looking to Horace.
Well, it inspired so much about Nintendo, didn't it? we don't really get Nintendo without this, but yeah, Hungry Horace. Basically, it's a massive rip-off of Pac-Man, except they did it quite badly wrong in a way that I will now demonstrate with the, again, exciting use of technology, because I have got all these wonderfully numbered videos here. What do you mean? What do I want to... Okay. Everything is absolutely fine. It's all going brilliantly. Don't worry, it's fine. It's all part of the show. It wouldn't be Horace if it was, like, correct. Hang on. Now we have another issue to deal with.
You got to see that cool ZX Spectrum loading rainbow.
Yeah,
I didn't realize this was Beam software. That explains a lot
does it
about
now?
Beam.
It's Scion software, you see. You know, Scion Beam. But I, for some... is there any way there might not be sound? There was sound before. Let's see.
Unclear.
Let's wait and see. Maybe... Yeah, there is no sound. That's unfortunate.
Is the volume down on the
Cable
computer?
plugged in all the way?
Cable.
Might have come a little loose. The audio cable.
Is that this one? Okay. Well, this is, as you can see, no lie. That is Horace right there. Exactly the way he appeared on the box art. Now, what I'd like to try and fathom is what exactly Horace actually is. I'd like to open that up to Kevin, actually. Do you have any suggestions on what we're looking at here?
You know, I feel like this is a question that has been debated by theological scholars for centuries, truly. I think he's some sort of like elephant in a trash bag.
It's actually a really good idea. I've never heard that one before. Jeremy, do you have any suggestions?
I had never seen Horace's facing away from you sprite, and he has quite a dumpy.
Oh. Oh, I'm really glad you said that, because you've set up a theme I can pay off later.
Oh, I'm so proud.
Yeah, thank you. That's really good. I'm just running this in the background because
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's going really well.
There's junk in that trunk.
You can't unsee it.
Not right, yeah. And something that I'd sort of thought about with Pac-Man is he's got an abstract representation of like what consumption and greed, right? You know, he is. It's just like a big mouth.
Yeah.
But Horace now that you've said he's got a big dumpy and he's like a big pair of trousers, I'm thinking, what's he abstract representation of? Like, what kind of hunger are we talking about here?
I mean, he may just be a pair of trousers. Those might be like Mickey Mouse's trouser buttons.
Yeah.
Instead of eyes. This changes everything.
I think you're right. I mean, I can't really bring myself to speculate, to be honest. It's all too upsetting. But that wasn't the only Horace game, you see. Look how good this. You can actually see how the sausage is made. It's magnificent. I couldn't think of a better way of doing this sort of way. This aspect of it. Here.
This might be my favorite Spectrum game. Yeah. It's incredible.
Once again, you pick up a lot of these ZX Spectrum games or Commodore games, and with no disrespect, you'd look at the screenshots on the back, and they did nothing like the art. The art on the cover would in no way represent the content of the game. However, with Horace Goes Skiing, I can demonstrate that is not the case, and the game once again is almost exactly like it. Now, it is unfortunate that I can't get sound. That's going to require some. Well, actually, in a way, it's not at all unfortunate because it's horrible, but it's going to ruin some of it later. So we're going to have to make up for that, I'm afraid. This is Horace Goes Skiing. What it begins with, as you can see, is basically sort of a bit like Frogger, because you got to run across the road to get to like the ski lodge to rent the skis. Obviously, you can't just have them at the beginning, and then you've got to get back across the road without dying, as in real life. Now here we go. See, this looks exactly like the cover of the game. This is an accurate representation of what's being offered here. And, well, I mean, I look at this and I think of, stuff like the original Alpine Ski, the Namco game, and Ski Free much later, which somehow traveled in time to rip this off, I guess.
Wasn't there a TI game that was kind of like this also?
Probably. There's a few ski games. I don't know that any of them had this like very. I don't know how many people have ever seen Aqua Teen Hunger Force, but there's a bit early on where Meatwad is describing his favorite game, Clam Digger, where you're like discussing with your friend about how you're going to go down to the beach and you're going to dig more clams in them, and the game is finding parking. And that's kind of what Horace Goes Skiing like says to me. Like, this is a game about crossing the street without having to get a hospital bill.
I feel like the question it raises for me, and I know you shouldn't ask these questions because these things fall to pieces, but why don't they just move the ski lodge to the other side of the road? Because it's in danger. They're taking their lives into their hands, every time they head out into that. But, oh God, it's doing it again. Every single square is going to be like this. It's a disaster. No, stop it. Right. Next up, because we're not done with this guy yet. There's more Horace. Oh, not next up, because there we go.
Oh, I think
gone too far now.
There's a little button that keeps popping up that says it's muted.
Don't know what that's about. This.
Oh, there you go.
The monitor's muted. Is it remote?
Oh, it's dangling.
Oh yeah.
Those anti-Horace extremists struck again.
Oh, no.
Okay.
This is the image. This is.
We may be in for a terrible surprise.
This is Horace and the Spider. I've not got a whole lot to say about Horace and the Spider because I feel like it's the first one that adds in a sort of real fantastical element to the whole business. There's nothing fantastical about Horace Goes Skiing. He just goes skiing, doesn't he? He just gets on with it, and more power to him for that. But I've got a little video of Horace and the Spiders here. Hopefully it's not going to be... Oh, there we go. Now you're talking. But look, this is like multi-genre sort of like... This isn't your daddy's Horace. Come on.
I don't like the idea that Horace has limbs, like hands.
I mean, he has an arm, but what is he holding the table with?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And then you get to the sort of Chucky Egg bit of the game where you can see it, can't you? I mean, I understand we're all upset that we're not playing this right now, but we're going to show some respect to these games today. And you'll be interested to note that this is actually what almost every Spectrum game... Yeah, he's dead. That's the end of Horace. He's got one serum less now, so watch out. What the hell is he talking about? I don't know. If I'd read the tape inlay, I would know. But I haven't got much to say about that one, really, because it's just more of Horace. You know, he went away for a long time after that. We didn't see any Horace for a while, which was a tremendous shame. But eventually, he did actually make a return, and I've actually got a video of this. And it is a game that was exclusively released on a Scion, which is like what was it called again? The Scion 3A. Now, this is genuinely the best footage I can get of it. This is not my footage, obviously, but it's one of those little palm top computers, right? And they thought, how are we going to sell this thing? You know, racking their brains, trying to come up with the means to get this into people's hands, and then someone remembers, we're sitting on solid gold IP here, and you get Horace and the Mystic Woods. A friend of mine actually did have this, and it's not very, I mean, it's all right. It's not great. It's probably the most playable of the Horace games because of the fact that it's just kind of a normal platformer, you know. It takes after sort of Manic Miner, which we're getting to later, but thankfully, enterprising homebrew developers managed to smash this out for the Spectrum. So now we can all enjoy the game to a much greater extent. And this was, when was this? This was 2010. Yeah, so what, the same year as the Wii or something?
That was 2006.
Oh, that was 2006. Well, it was still around. It's close enough. It's fine. Fine.
It's all to our great shames that Horace is not on the Wii.
Yeah, you fast mover. And that is actually all of the Horace. They were never made any more. They realized they were onto something of. He'd peaked quite early.
I don't think he would have survived the transition to HD.
I think that he absolutely could have. I don't think they even need to really change anything, to be honest.
I think they need to mod Pac-Man World to put Horace in. I think we can all agree with that.
Pac-Man, well, Horace World, a Horace like CG, like a Horace HD sort of platform would be quite good. I think. I mean, if I had the resources.
Got to have a skiing mini game.
I don't have the resources, though.
So I don't mean to grill you in your own panel, but what is it about Horace that makes it uniquely a British character? What do you feel that your people bring to the table that we here in this room as Americans could not have done to make Horace?
Well, complete lack of any quality control, I suppose, of any standards of design, of character design. You know, we went, yeah, that looks a bit like a bloke. We're done. Finished, mate, right off. But what really makes it, and what you would never dream of, no offense, I genuinely don't mean any offense. This is not meant to elevate me or my people, awful people. But, you know, some people like would have thought, you know what, this doesn't look great anymore. We should probably update this design in some way, but not us. No, we sat down in 2010 to develop this homebrewed Spectrum game, and we were like, no. This will not stand. He will remain shit.
There's something to be said for tradition.
There is. And a very... speaking of tradition, a very British tradition, which is working in a mine. Oh, and I want to pause this for a second, because this does have music. You won't get much of it, but I felt like it would be unreasonable of me to in any way try and... you know, change this or make it anything other than what it is. So we're going to get a bit of it, and then I'm going to abruptly stop it, and we can all move on with our lives.
I assure you, coming out of the little crappy speaker on a ZX Spectrum, it's not nearly as grating.
Hey, say that again. I wasn't. Say it again. Say it again. Say it again. No. Manic Miner. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm not apologizing for that. I'm not the one who has to apologize. I'm going to play this, but I am going to slightly reduce the volume of this because it is a lot. Again, but it's nowhere near as bad as that last thing, so compared to that, this is going to seem like fuck or something. This is Manic Miner. How the hell do you feel? There we go. There. Now, Miner Willie. The actual name of the character is Miner Willie. He isn't named Manic Miner. He is a Manic Miner, but his name is Miner Willie. William. And you can sort of see the basic premise of this one, which is explore single-screen stages, collect all the shiny objects, and then make your way to the exit, which is in the bottom right there. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this, but to UK gamers, to someone like me, this is like Mario Brothers level 1-1. Like, is that level? Okay, it's not as good as that, I know, but in terms of being the iconic, you see it and you're like, oh yeah, Central Cavern, oh yeah. Repeat forever.
And the music is almost as good as Mario's.
It's getting there. I mean, it's got some like classical heft, I suppose, in all of the Mountain King, right? But yeah, that game was released in '83 on the Spectrum developed by a chap named Matthew Smith, who after this became a bit of a famous recluse. I'm not that surprised, to be honest. But it was ported to all of the machines that no one's ever heard of, like the Sam Coupe and the Dragon 32, you know. I've got the image of it here somewhere, and I hope against hope that it's this one. It wasn't. That was Horace again. Come on, there we go. That's I don't know who that is on the cover though. That's just like an alien. I don't know what he's got to do with any of it.
Well, I see
That's
Willie's
a telephone.
boot, so
Yeah, you're right. It is
It's
a
a
telephone.
rotary dial telephone.
Oh, now I understand. Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah, absolutely.
After all these years, I finally understand what's going on with the telephone mod. So, you
Well,
know, it's
years of
actually
British
raised further
studies
questions
kicking
now
in.
that I think about it. But the thing about Manic Miner is I will defend that game to the last breath. Like, I mean, okay, Horace sucks. I get it. It's not very good, but Manic Miner, I think, is pretty good. If you can get past that sound and the slowness, that is a solid platformer there, entirely based on technique and nothing else. It's not glitchy like the sequel, which we'll get to. And I think everyone should just lay off him, you know, and give him a chance. What do you think Minor Willie has a future as a mascot, really?
Possibly, but he might have to change his name to William, just, you know.
Because of because of the connotation. Yeah, I can see that actually. That's really not good. You've cast quite a pall over this entire proceedings now, I'm afraid.
I also feel like the world is moving to renewables and to solar, so there may be some troubles there. You might have to find a new line of work.
So they need to just rename the game like William.
much, yeah.
William, William in brackets who doesn't do anything.
you know he could be out there mining lithium. We don't know. He's here to help us with our green revolution.
Yeah.
Now that Thatcher has closed all the coal mines.
And that of Green Revolution, Green fella, rotary phone revolution.
Yeah.
I see, we tied it together. And excuse me, but that wasn't the end of Minor Willie. He didn't just appear in this one game. He also appeared in this game, Jet Set Willie, which, as you can see, is a game about the debilitating effects of alcoholism. I wish I was joking about that. But the thing about Jet Set Willie, which I'm delighted by, and this is one of the reasons I'm especially glad that you're here, is it's actually a Metroidvania. Before
Ish.
Metroid, before Castlevania, which means we're changing the name of that genre.
To Willie? Willievania?
Willievania. You heard it right here.
Jet Setroid. Yeah,
How long have you been waiting to set that one up?
7 years.
Wow. I'm glad you could all be here for this moment.
Here is what Jet Set Willie is like. I will now show you Jet Set Willie. You're welcome. It's, as you can see, it's superficially quite similar to Manic Miner, but in a moment, something majestic will reveal itself. First of all, oh God, up he goes. Like, this is all connected together. You know, this is a big old game. This is like, gosh, I want to say it's about like 60 screens, this one. And is it almost impossible to complete? Yes. Is it actually impossible to complete? Also, yes, because they did it wrong. And when they released it, it genuinely was not possible to complete the game without pokes, which were like, cheats basically, but modifying the code. It did get re-released and was beatable after that. But the damage, you could argue, was done. What do you think, modern Jet Set Willie? Do you think he's got any hope, the Minor Willie here? Everyone loves Jet Set Willie.
Give this a Hollow Knight facelift, and I think people would buy it.
Well, so like it's sort of a lore-rich Minor Willie game, where not only do you have to like make up with his wife and replace all the items he destroyed in his drunken mania.
You can find journals scrawled on the bathroom tile.
Yeah, I want this. I want it more than almost anything, actually. Now, this is a very exciting part of the, even more exciting than all the previous parts, because I didn't actually know about this until I started making this. And it's, yeah. Oh, that's just Manic Miner. I didn't know about that. I'm not very good at this. There we go. The Perils of Willie. Don't say a word. Don't say a damn word. Now, this is a game that was released on the Commodore VIC-20. Is that a machine that you have any familiarity with, Kevin?
Not as such. We jumped straight to a Commodore 64. So.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why they would call it a VIC-20, though. There must be a good reason. But this is a bit of a step back in terms of design, because they went back from the Metroidvania-esque thing to more traditional again. However, this game has a Led Zeppelin soundtrack, and we're all going to rock out to it right now, okay? Yeah.
Did they actually pay for the rights to this music?
No.
I mean, they could have the jazz rack still in the corner. I don't know.
At the end of the game, it's like copyright Jimmy Page. I don't know. No, they just stole it. Of course, they stole it.
This is why it had to be on the VIC-20. The Spectrum could not have.
Mostly because nobody saw it, so they couldn't sue them, I guess.
Exactly.
But I was really happy to discover this, because I'd never heard of this game. I knew that Jet Set Willie has about 1 million homebrew sort of fan sequels, Manic Miner as well. That's one of the big Spectrum games. But Perils of Willie just completely off my radar. So thanks, Long Island Retro, for giving me the opportunity to discover that one. Now, this is your last chance to say something nice about Minor Willie.
I love him in Minor 2049er.
Okay. That's the best I'm gonna get, so I'll take it. I'll honestly take it. Kevin, any thoughts on how this character could be resurrected for the modern audience?
Truly, what needs to be done? He's already he's the man of our times. He's a working class man.
Yeah, he vomits.
He's vomiting out in outrage, undoubtedly.
Yeah. Now, if that was the end of Manic Miner. Now, this is Manic Miner on the Game Boy Advance. This exists. They ported this, Jester Interactive ported this in 2003, I believe. And this is the central cavern again, but obviously it's been given a bit of a lick of paint. Your mileage may vary on whether or not that is a particularly successful rebrand of Manic Miner, but I think we can all agree that it moves nice and smooth by comparison.
I don't know. I feel like his animation's actually stiffer here than on Spectrum.
Yes, I suppose that is true. The Spectrum fans hate this game because they made it slightly easier. They're not happy. It's not. They're not. I think that basically the changes they made to that version are actually rather good. But there is one quite compelling exception that I've decided I'm going to subject all of you to, with apologies. But this is what we're here for, and that is the game's ending, which I'm going to make you watch now. You all have to look at this. You can't close your eyes or look away.
Wow. FMV.
Just once more, because how many times do I get a chance to play this? Let's enjoy it once more. It's genuinely quite haunting. It's the eyes under the... There's no... It's awful. It's an awful man.
Is there any other CG like that in the game?
I don't know. I don't think so. There might be like a very brief opening, but I think it was just that which made it all the more upsetting. Right. Like all of a sudden you're just presented with this sort of demon thing. When you see him on the title screen, he looks a little bit like that, but I don't think that you've got the grin, the sort of Cheshire cat grin, the sort of fully yellow glowing eyes underneath shadow. Like it shouldn't be. He just shouldn't be. Thankfully, Manic Miner did not fully end. There is still more, unfortunately, of this. But it's a homebrew job, okay? Because this was released for the DS in, oh my god, that's really loud. Everything's the different volume, isn't it? This is Manic Miner in the Lost Levels. This is a DS homebrew game. And what I like about this one in particular, A, it's more Manic Miner, but B, because the game is ported to so many different systems, like in this one is the Auric, which is another microcomputer of the many thousands, Samcoupe, Acorn, all that stuff. They used the levels that were exclusive to those versions. Like every one of them would have like some kind of exclusive stage or two. And someone enterprising homebrew developer thought, you know what? I'm going to put those all together in a fairly polished, well-made little DS game. I'm going to put it out on the internet for free for everyone to enjoy. And I trust that everyone here will be enjoying that and will be downloading that immediately after this. Because if not, then I'm not getting the job done, am I really? Now, we've got 2 more of these, or 3 more of these actually, but we're getting into something a bit more familiar now. At least I think this has more of a footprint over here in the States than most of these characters do. So I'm not even going to give an intro. You can just enjoy his presence. Here he is, the boy. Come on, we all know. We all know who this is.
Once described by the Video Game History Foundation's Phil Salvador as that despicable egg.
Yeah, who even knows who that guy is?
Who knows?
Well, yeah, as you can see, this game is amazing. Off he goes, like, solving all those puzzles. Okay, it's the first one. It's not that good. Okay, the first one is not that good. Wow, that was loud. I'm very cognizant of that, but this is important. This is important, okay? And he's important not just to the UK, but also to the history of the NES, as you well know.
Yeah.
Extremely, extraordinarily important to the history of the NES, Jeremy.
Incalculably essential.
Yeah, because of course he was involved in the whole Camerica Aladdin deck enhancer thing.
And whomst among us did not have an Aladdin deck enhancer?
Whomst indeed. I had one. I didn't even have an NES, you know. But this was a series that began in, excuse me, that began in 1989, and it got sequels in like 1990, 91, 92. I think there were like at least 2 or 3 distinct Dizzy games released in each of those years. And then finally they were like, you know what, I think people may have had enough of this and started to sort of slow it down a little bit. I can't imagine why they would think that, because, I mean, they hadn't, but here we are. There we are. Forgive me. Too far. Too far again. I've ruined the whole thing. No, there we go. Right. Dizzy. This is the original Dizzy, released for Spectrum 48K, 128K, as you can see here. I could not tell you who most of these people are. I don't know. That looks like Luigi a bit. I'm not sure why he's in it. And there's a sort of human Oscar the Grouch in the middle right there.
Kind of looks like Ma Fratelli.
And this is the most popular character in the world, Dizzy the Egg, and his little mate who's been placed in a cage. This was obviously, as you can see, Codemasters by the Oliver twins, the authors of Grand Prix Simulator. Yeah, see now.
Possibly the most powerful twin combo in entertainment history.
And as you can see here, we had quite a lot of Dizzy games. This is the Amiga version of the first Dizzy collection pack. I love the art. I think the art is absolutely charming, you know. They found a way to make the egg work, didn't they, you know? But he wasn't just in these adventure games. Like Fast Food, first game on the left here was like a sort of a maze game like Pac-Man. Quick Snacks, the second game here was it was sort of a maze game like Pac-Man again. But then we have Fantasy World Dizzy, Treasure Island Dizzy, and Magic Land Dizzy, which are a succession of graphic adventures, which weren't released in that order actually, because Treasure Island is the second one, and it's one of the most impossible games ever made, wasn't it, Kevin?
Yeah. So my favorite thing about Treasure Island Dizzy is that there wasn't enough time to bug fix it. So like a lot of these Dizzy games, you have like 3 lives, right? And if you die, you start over where you were. In Treasure Island Dizzy, if you're in the ocean and you die, you would just respawn in the ocean and continue to die. So the way they solved that was to just give you 1 life.
Yeah.
To finish this entire game.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
And I want to know the way that this game works. Well, Treasure Island Dizzy works. You can pick up 3 items and hold them in your inventory. But when you let me do an example using actual items. Can I use the cap of your bottle for a second? This is if I pick up the cap of this. Does everyone see it? And I place this in my inventory now here. If I now want to pick up this goes here. And if I now pick up this, it goes here. However, cycles this back around here. How it works. The items cycle, so you drop them in order. You can have that back now. Oh, thanks. I want to wash it, but the problem is to go underwater in Treasure Island Dizzy, you need to use scuba gear, and if you need to pick up an item underwater with the scuba gear on, you need to make sure that the scuba gear is not in the 3rd slot of your inventory, because if it is, the instant you pick up the new item, you will drop the scuba gear, instantly lose your 1 life, and suffer a game over. So, you know, when it comes to Dizzy, I'm a big fan, but I can sort of understand why people don't necessarily get on with him. I think as the series went on, it went sort of from strength to strength. Now you can buy this cartridge for the Evercade, the Oliver Twins collection. Well, actually, you can't anymore because I think they made it out of print. But what they did here was they compiled a bunch of the Dizzy games that came out for, well, NES. And there was also, for some reason, there was like 4 extra Dizzy games that they just made and never bothered releasing them. I don't know what they were doing over there, really. But I guess they had some time on their hands. Thankfully, this is probably the best reason to own an Evercade. I'm not here to shill the Evercade, but if you happen to have one, this is worth seeking out. There's some really great stuff on there, including Super Robin Hood, which is a really fun game for the NES. But this is what I was talking about earlier, the Aladdin Deck Enhancer. Sorry about the very bad image. I genuinely couldn't find a better one, and I tried very hard.
You could have asked the guy who's photographed the entire set, but it's just a thought.
Well, I didn't want to bug you. You want to bug a guy about Dizzy.
True.
Yeah. But if you're going to play any Dizzy game, and obviously you should, ignore that. You should play, for my money, Dizzy Prince of the Oak Folk. That's because he's an egg. Okay, that's why it's the Prince of the Oak Folk, the egg lads. This is a game. Okay. And this is also a decent demonstration of how the puzzles in this game work. Pick up a pile of leaves, go to this door, put the pile of leaves on the ground. You see? Now, what can we do? What do we do with the pile of leaves? Right, we'll go over here and pick up what is obviously a book of matches, okay? Book of matches. Head back over. What are we going to do with the book of matches? Any ideas, anyone?
Couldn't even tell you.
Yeah, set fire. There you go. We're going to use it to set fire to the leaves. Now, the door's on fire. Unfortunately, we can't go through the door that's on fire because, oh, fried egg. So we've got to pick up this jug of water, walk over here, chuck the water on the flaming door. It's been extinguished. We have escaped the first puzzle, and we are out into the Prince of the Oak Folk land itself.
So you can actually fry Dizzy, is that correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and Dizzy can fall and crack, right?
So Dizzy can what?
Fall?
Oh, yeah,
crack?
he can. Yeah, so I thought you said something else. Go on.
So he has all the disadvantages of being an egg.
Oh, all of them. He can.
But he also has to wear a scuba unit to go underwater.
I mean,
even though he's
if
an
you
egg.
jump with Dizzy and you fall off the edge of a platform, he will keep rolling into a pit and die because he's an egg. They thought, that'll be fun. Let's put that in. And they were right. It is fun, but you have to have a tolerance for things that are deliberately quite annoying, which I do. Now, Dizzy Prince of the Oak Folk, they ported it to, well, it came with the Aladdin Deck Enhancer, actually. Now, the music for this is quite shrill again. It's not as bad as the Manic Miner one, so I do apologize if it's a lot. But this is the same sequence in the NES version, so you can see how sort of streamlined it's been in terms of speeding things up a bit and making it a bit clearer. Sorry about the music. Let's make it louder to annoy people more. There we go. Now, what we've got here is, obviously, they've picked them up quicker, but also the inventory is a bit less esoteric. It moves faster. It's just a better version of the game, I would argue. I think you lose the charm of the color clash graphics that the Spectrum has. But and also that music is really just dreadful. Yeah,
what is the thing that British game composers do where they're like, what if the music sounds like it's gargling? That's better, right?
I think that's a kind of a Codemasters thing mainly. I don't know why they do that. I wish I could tell you. I don't know why they do it. It's a state of affairs.
It's a fun little trill, you know?
Yeah, I suppose. But you listen to like European games. I can't remember the name of the he did a lot of Ubisoft Game Boy games. I can't remember the name of the composer now, but like Asterix and Smurfs and things like that. And they have a distinct sound, right? And I think that's quite similar to that sound, except just bad. You know, that's what they brought to the table there. Now, they were actually they did want to bring Dizzy back in 2000 on I think the PS2 sort of era. Sort of mid-2000s, actually, so roughly around then. And I found the pitch video for the new Dizzy game, and I'm going to force you all to watch it for a laugh. But I'm also going to turn it up because it has actual dialogue. Now, I want you all to don't lie to me and tell me you wouldn't play this, okay? some uncanny valley sort of thing going on with him now, isn't there? It's very unfortunate.
Which is weird because there's not actually such a thing as a living egg person. So how could he be in the uncanny valley?
That is actually a really good question, and yet somehow they found a way, didn't they?
Is this series in any way related to Eggs of Steel for PlayStation?
Oh, that's a good question.
That Eggs of Steel guy on the cover is like Dizzy with a wrench.
Let's compare. Like, okay, what do they have in common? First of all,
egg.
Yeah,
That's
it. That's the whole
Video game.
Well,
egg and video game.
Well, come on, barely. Isn't that like a sort of almost like a pre-rendered platformer kind of Eggs of Steel? So Atlas, isn't it? Atlas
was. I did not ever play it because it looked appalling.
I played it, and it was. I asked you that as if I didn't know the answer. I do know the answer. That was very disingenuous of me. Sorry. Yeah, it's really bad. I like Dizzy a lot better. For my sins, you know. But okay, let's be real. Dizzy, they could do something with Dizzy now, right? They could bring back Dizzy. Of all of the mascots we've seen so far, Dizzy's the most likable. Right.
Didn't they try and do a Kickstarter with Dizzy like 10 years ago or so that completely
No, I think they've actually done a few Kickstarters for the ones that were like the NES cartridges, like Wonderland.
Yeah, this is for like a new one.
The NES cartridges were all, NES. Were all
NES, sorry,
yeah,
everyone.
But this was like a new Dizzy game that they were trying to pitch, and they did not meet.
I vaguely recall that, yeah. He did resurface on the iPhone. There was a Dizzy Prince of the Oak Folk for iPhone, and it wasn't very good.
And there's like, what, 20 or 30 odd like Russian Dizzy.
Oh, the Dizzy,
games.
yeah.
There's a million of them.
Something I wanted to highlight actually was you can play a bunch of all of the official Dizzy games on this website, which is quite creatively named, as you can see, yokefolk.com. They've put all of them up in the browser. You can just play them right there in your browser, and why wouldn't you? You know, all of them are there. All of these fan games are there. And all the different versions of the games are there. I'm not sure if it's legal. It seems like they would have done something about it if it wasn't, but I think Codemasters might be about to disappear into the enormous maw of a larger conglomerate. So what are they going to do about it?
You know, I actually could see Dizzy coming back as a Playdate game. Like, you do something with the crank that takes advantage of his rolling nature.
That's not a bad idea.
I think there's something.
Or you could just whisk him, like get him
yes,
killed.
that
would be good. Yeah,
that'd be a great mini game.
Yeah, sort of just get rid of Dizzy that way. Now, okay, I'm gonna have to explain this. It's a parody of James Bond, undercover agent, except you getting it?
Yeah, I'm following.
Okay,
Is this like the Timothy Dalton James Bond?
Timothy Salt and Vinegar on his. What they've done is they've changed the B for P, so it now says pond because he's a fish now.
You know, when I was in college, there was a Best Western and the sign glitched, and it said Pest Western.
Oh, that is quite.
And
good.
I went back to take a photo of it, and they fixed it. Really disappointing.
You should have sent that to like a British developer in the early '90s, and they would have made a whole franchise out of it.
They fixed it.
It's like a little cowboy, but he's like a flea, and he's like, you know, I'd play that on the Amiga, where it would definitely be. Now James Pond is kind of a lot. I'm going to play the intro for James Pond now, and we can all thrill to it, because I think this is how games should open. Okay. No, I'm sorry, but if you don't like that, then we're not friends. Okay, you have to admit that is quite good. I'll show a little bit of the original James Pond underwater agent, which is going to be quite annoying again, and I apologize for that. But we have to represent these things accurately. Now, the first James Pond is not really a platform game. It's this kind of almost... Come on, that's great. It's like this sort of weirdly open plan mission-based game. Like, I don't even know what's going on right now. I've played this quite a lot, and wow.
All the musical capabilities of the Amiga are on display.
Oh yeah. But what's really great is this bit coming up, but he leaves, goes back in, and it's just a different room. I love it. This is the most British of the British games ever, I think. It's just perfect. What you got to do here is you got to pick up these really horrible looking pink fish things, take them here. I think it's down here, or maybe it's another. Yeah, down there, and that rescues them. Got to do that with all of them, and that's just for this level. You got other stuff like James Pond's got to deal with some lager louts, which is a bit of a weird recurring theme in these games, is drunk people. Bear with me a second, and I will find the thing. No. There. Yes. Lager. Okay, here are the lager louts. Now, I'm not trying to cast any aspersions, but you get rid of the hair, and I'm just saying, then you reckon. Yeah, I used to look exactly like that. And dress exactly. No, I didn't. That's not true. Now, weirdly enough, while it does criticize lager and the abuse thereof and the littering thereof, you also have as a collectible in the game what appears to be Jack Daniels, the American brand. Oh, as I'm sure you'll agree, the best of all the whiskeys.
Of course.
Sure.
Jack Daniels, which James Pond looking quite happy about.
I mean, I guess that is like a classier thing, but if they're doing a proper James Bond parody, it's got to be a, just a straight up vodka martini.
Yeah, vodka. Well, how come you do a fish version of that though?
How do you drink anything as a fish?
That's actually a really good point. Yeah, I guess it would be the same, except instead of being shaken or stirred, they just drop him in it, and then
shake him around in it.
Yeah, there you go. They're perfect, shaken and stirred. But yeah, that game's not great, I have to say. But it is the first stepping stone to a much better game. And once again, I'm afraid I have to show the intro to this because it's absolutely incredible. They really got the intros right in these games. This is James Pond 2, codename Robocod, which is a parody, of course, of Robocop. Yeah, and what I didn't realize, again, because I'm stupid.
They just kept whittling away the parts of the bee.
They did, yeah. What I didn't get until very recently is not only is this like a fairly parody of Robocop, because I wasn't that familiar with Robocop, sorry, until recently, I didn't realize that they actually have the music from Robocop in here as well, and some of the imagery, and we're going to hear that now. Oh, Jesus. This makes my heart sing. We're for it. Isn't that a great title screen? That is from the poster, right? That's the Robocop poster. Yeah, I'll let this run out of respect for the developers because it's pretty good. Rob Hubbard on the music there. Come on.
Rob Hubbard usually does good stuff.
Yeah, and I'm not ashamed to say that I think that game. Hold my hands up here. I know I say this about a lot of games. I think Robocod is genuinely quite good. I really like it. I think as these games
Strong
go.
statement there.
Yeah, very strong. Thank you. I think that,
Strong as his Jack Daniels.
yeah. This is what his main thing he can do. He can stretch really long. It's like being me. Up he goes. Now, you may think, and you will be right to think, that the backgrounds here are a tiny bit bit garish, maybe a touch confusing when they maybe didn't need to be. That's quite an Amiga-ish thing to do, especially on the Amiga 1200 when they were, when they say that they didn't stop to think whether or not they should. Yeah, it's like that. But I stand by James Pond 2, codename Robocod. I think that is a really, really strong little game. And I have got a picture of it somewhere. Yeah, there you go. Yes, I think that's a good box art right there. I think James Pond there looks like he knows what he's talking about. I'd follow him into battle.
That blank expression definitely speaks of knowledge.
I think the blank expression speaks of confidence, actually. And this was, of course it was, but James Pond, specifically the first one, actually, was the first British Mega Drive game. It was the first Mega Drive game developed in the UK, published in the UK, and you know what?
Respect.
Yeah, I know. I mean, was it as good as any of the Japanese or American games? No, it wasn't.
That's
It just wasn't. Here's the Japanese Super Nintendo version of the box art. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, we all love that, don't we? Because of the anime. But no, we weren't having this. Oh no, we're having the anime. Oh god, can't be believing that.
It's the highlights on the letters.
Yeah, that's a good point. It was the letters.
It's like balloon letters.
James Super Pond 2. Yeah, very nice. And also apparently someone called Victor. What I like is that they've actually. I haven't got a screenshot to demonstrate this, which wasn't a great idea. But the little penguin at the bottom right there, who's sort of sitting sideways. That is almost exactly like the sprite in the game. They did a really good job with that. I just wanted to highlight that. Who else is going to, you know? Now, this is very important. This game is available right now on the Switch. However, it's not. It's false Robocod. A lie. Okay? Because they took the game, they got the visuals, they changed all the levels, they took all the fun little secrets out. They made everything rote and boring and rubbish, and I hate it. I believe it to be a craven image of Robocod. And if you want to play Robocod, which you obviously do, this, you should get it on the Mega Drive or even the Super Nintendo or something. And do not play the new Robocod, it's dreadful. If anyone here worked on it, I'm genuinely sorry. Wasted time. It was not good. Yeah. Now, this was the next James Bond game. The aquatic game starring James Pond and the Aquabats, not the band. It's a different thing. Also, I've just noticed something, and like live. This is a live observation. I have to just check something to see if I'm right. I'm probably wrong, but I have to know. Oh yeah, they spelled Millennium wrong on the cover of the James Pond 2 the game. That's not how you spell Millennium with one N, is it?
Maybe that's how that company spells their name.
No, well, I mean, they changed it then here because they've spelled it correctly on this one. Someone's got the answer for this.
Called a rebranding.
There are going to be some stern words had about this. Now, I can't remember the names of all these characters. The seal is called Cecilia, which is quite good, I think. The frog is called, and this is actually true, it's called Fortesque Frog. Not just Fortesque Frog, Fortesque with a hyphen. Don't know why. That one in the middle, I don't know who that is. No, it's James Pond. I don't know what the other two are called. All I know is one of them is a shark on a unicycle, and I think that's fantastic. And I've actually got a video of it because I wanted you all to understand how fantastic it was. Here we go. Right. I think it's this one. Excuse me. Oh yeah, I've helpfully labeled it shark on a unicycle. That was smart of me. Forward thinking. Off he goes. Look at it. Everyone here is going to go home and buy this.
I'm going to start looking on the show floor for it.
I bet there is a copy out there somewhere, you know. Well, maybe
Probably.
not. Maybe not. Who would want to sell it, you know?
I mean, if the only way it couldn't be there is if someone had already bought it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also going to play...
BC's Quest for Tires sequel that I never knew I needed.
This is the intro from the aquatic games, just because I think it's quite nice. Yeah.
Legally distinct.
Yeah. I think it's public domain, mate.
Yeah, I feel like Ode to Joy, it's been around long enough.
And yet.
And yet.
Yeah. Now,
They had to put
that
their own
is...
spin on it.
Yeah. They could copyright it.
Ode to Koi, huh?
Yeah. See?
AOI?
You get
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I was being coy about that joke as well. The best thing about aquatic games, now aquatic games, in case it's not obvious, it's like a mini game collection sort of thing, like track and field, you know, except with
A
fish.
shark on a unicycle.
Yeah, with shark on a unicycle, exactly. And the thing is, that isn't even the best part of the game, because the best game is this one, which is called Feeding Time, where you play Cecilia the Seal. Now, just bear with me on this, okay? Because you haven't been already. These beach balls get thrown up, and these sleeping seal mates here. I should be pointing here, really. And you got to knock them out of the way with Cecilia, right? Now, what this reminds me of is Kaboom on the Atari, right? It's not
Okay, I can
totally
see it.
dissimilar, and it has a similar sort of, I'd say, sort of compulsiveness to it. And listen to the music, it's incredible. It is. I love it. I'm just going to leave this on for the rest of the whole thing. Okay, you get it. You get it. After a while, you start getting alarm clocks appear on the sides of the screen that count down really quickly, and if they count down, everyone wakes up and you lose. It's great. It's just a lovely, lovely game that they made. Reminds me of old Atari games. Very well thought out, I think. That was not the end of James Pond, though. It was nearly the end of James Pond, but the best was yet to come, and I mean that with absolutely no irony. I'm going to pull this up now. Oh, that's the wrong one again. I'm not doing very well. I apologize. It's because I'm not used to this software. There. Imagine this spinning at you in Crazy Mode 7 style, right? And then stopping looking exactly like that on your screen, burnt into the CRT impression for the rest of all its life. That's what James Bond 3 offers you, Operation Starfish. And you know what's the mad thing? I did not capture a video of it doing this. I really should have. But the point that I think is crazy is on the Mega Drive, you got the slow, smooth, scrolling, growing Mode 7 style thing. Super Nintendo version just fades into that image. They got it backwards, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah. But James Bond 3 Operation Starfish, my God, where do I begin with this one? It is actually the most impossible game for me to put across why I think this game is so good. Basically, it has more levels than Mario World does. It has a bigger map than Mario World does. I'm not saying it's better than Mario World, because I'm not out of my mind, okay? Well, not entirely. But all these stages have this kind of this is like I said, I cannot show people this game and expect them to think, yeah, I quite fancy a go of that, because there's so much about it that is absolutely obviously annoying. And this is where I think the British mascots really sort of stand apart from the UK and Japanese ones, is they don't generally try and deliberately annoy you. Whereas look at this, he's trying to get this, and because of the physics, they did that on purpose.
I don't know. That's very Alex Kidd coded to me. So,
Do you think?
Yeah, I feel like.
Well, Alex Kidd may as well be a British
right? No,
mascot,
I'm gonna say. I was gonna say, like, he was actually the original British mascot.
I would say that's true, even though he came out way later and after like Manic Miner, he still somehow was. I agree.
No.
But as you can see, this is there's a lot going on here. That is like the kind of thing people actually say that Sonic is bad for having, running down a big hill into an enemy. In this game, it's actually true, because there's nothing you can do about it unless you know it's there already. Now.
And also, that was more of like a Strider hill run as opposed to Sonic.
It's got elements from everything in there. You know, it's really a game of quite some breadth and scope. I mean that. I really love that game. Every single one of those stages has got so much hidden in it and so much to find that I would argue is worth finding. And you can probably get that for like no money, because nobody cares about James Bond 3 apart from me. I'm right to care about it, but nobody does.
Would you say that it's greater than the sum of its parts?
Oh, yeah, very much so. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I wish I'd thought of that instead of writing this whole thing. But what do you think James Bond has any chance of coming back in the future and giving the Sonic and Mario a run for their money? Because I certainly do.
You know, I feel like they could put him in the next Sonic and Mario at the Olympics, because he's already got experience.
Yeah, you're right. He does.
In the games.
They could put the whole cast of aquatic games.
We could have a shark on a unicycle against, I don't know, Tails.
Oh, I'm getting emotional thinking about that.
I mean, they are currently casting the next James Bond.
Oh, yeah,
that's
they
true.
Are, yeah.
So it's right there.
We can't say that he's not going to be a fish yet.
There's EO Interactive are making that new James Bond game, and we haven't seen the DLC or like the pre-order.
Yeah.
Isn't EO Interactive British?
I don't know. No, I'm kidding. I do know they are. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
The window is open.
Yeah. Speaking of something being open that is window-like, excuse me, just hiccuped in the middle of saying the word like. I think we all know what this is, right?
I don't think I've ever heard this particular rendition.
I had
of
no
the
idea it was so
theme song.
annoying.
Annoying?
I mean, charming.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that bit in Family Guy where Stewie is swallowing people with a tuba. That's what it reminds me of. Yeah, some dogs did the last bit. I don't know why.
That's Zamfir.
So yeah, anyway, the game is Lemmings, and I'm sure we all know this one. Okay, this is a puzzle game released in in 1990, I think one, and it's when we all know Lemmings. You did an episode about Lemmings for Retronauts.
Yes. I talked to the creator, Mike Daly.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Why didn't you get him for this?
For some reason. Would you like to come to a panel where we're going to dunk on your game for 10 minutes?
I'm not going to dunk on
Fly on
Lemmings.
over from the UK, sir.
I ain't dunking on Lemmings. Nobody should ever dunk on Lemmings because Lemmings is fantastic.
We're going to be very kind to Lemmings, and
Yeah,
we'll dunk on the follow-ups.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But no, Lemmings is a game that I think anyone can pick up and at least comprehend, which is all you can say for quite a lot of games of this era. And unlike the rest of the games we've seen today, or at least most of the rest of them, it's not really an action game. I mean, there are elements of timing and action involved, but surely you know what Lemmings. Like this is it. It's this. I think this is the Japanese strategy guide cover. You will enjoy
clearly
the James
is.
Pond one, so
That's very charming.
I thought you might enjoy this as well.
Look at his furrowed brow. He has so much consternation.
He's probably looking at that. That's looking at each other.
West meets east.
Yeah, it's beautiful in a way.
Trying to figure out how to get to each other, obviously.
Yeah. But this was made by DMA Design, which is better known now as Rockstar North. The makers of all of the expensive games that everyone likes, like Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead. Right? Did they do Red Dead? Rockstar North?
Great question.
I think they did. I'm gonna say yes that they did. Yeah, and soon Grand Theft Auto 6 instead of what everyone actually wants, which is more Lemmings. Here is a bit of Lemmings, even though you already know what this is. I'm going to show it anyway. It's important. As you'll see along the bottom here, you've got 8 attributes that you can assign to the Lemmings. The one that's selected now is the blocker, and these Lemmings are going. This first Lemming's going to be turned. Well, not the first because I got it wrong and kill one of the Lemmings. Nice going. Now we're going to make the basher here. The Lemming will carve its way through the gap, and off they pop into the exit. That is how you win the game, and you get to listen to this boing sound effect 600 times in a row. I'm going to spare you that. No, I'm not. I'm going to let it play out. We're nearly done. That one's dead. But part of the appeal of that game, despite the cuteness of the Lemmings, and they are quite cute and sweet, the Lemmings, is you can be really horrible to them and blow them all up and put them into lava and acid and all sorts of appalling things. And games generally weren't quite so good at letting you do that at the time, so that you could enjoy some horrible cathartic violence against some creatures who don't really deserve it. And that's an aspect that they sort of lost, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they took the hamster in the microwave out of Maniac Mansion.
Yeah.
They actively avoided you being wantonly cruel to undeserving animals for some reason.
I love how lovingly rendered all of the ways to kill the Lemmings are in that game.
Oh, they're wonderful. Yeah. It's especially the one where the rock falls down and it's very unpleasant. You don't want to see it.
Splat them. It's ridiculous.
It's really horrible. This was quickly followed by I think it was late '91. They did Oh No More Lemmings, which is just basically, except it's basically impossibly hard. I just wanted to put this box art up because I think it's really, really cool. As you can see, hundreds of Lemmings there to enjoy. And they followed this up in '92 with Lemmings 2, The Tribes, which unfortunately, in my opinion, made a bit of a mistake because, we all saw that there were 8 attributes in the original Lemmings to deal with. In Lemmings 2, The Tribes, here's the box art for that game, by the way. Very cool box art, if you ask me. There's a few more attributes in it, as in there's more than 50. There's maybe not be more than 50 pictures there, but I looked it up, and there are more than 50. If anyone wants to ask any questions about what some of these are, please don't, because I don't know.
The one at the bottom right that looks like an angel of death or something. What is that one?
Oh, the winged lemming. I think
that
actually is the angel of death.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the lemon.
Now I know what I'll see when I die.
I was gonna guess it was like a psychic lemming using his telekinesis.
It's got bone wings,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that. It's quite upsetting, really. I wish I hadn't brought it up. But Lemmings 2 The Tribes is actually a very, very enjoyable game, in my opinion. The problem is it lacks that easy to jump in nature of the first one. Even just looking at a little bit of the gameplay here, you can see immediately, I think, that it's quite a bit more esoteric and the levels are kind of a bit more sort of sprawling. I couldn't tell you what a lot of these things do, and in the original you can pretty much easily pick it up. You have to learn what all of the different lemming types actually do, what the applications are within certain types of terrain, within certain types of level, and then putting it all together to get as many lemmings as you can to the exit, which is the golf flag in the top. No, actually, I think it's just further scrolled on the screen. This is actually generally the typical pace of a Lemmings 2 level as you try and figure it out. They added a bit more. It's obviously a real-time puzzle game, but I think they made the sequel feel a bit more like an RTS. And isn't this music fantastic?
It's very good.
Yeah, it's a bum. Yeah. Oh, and also nicely, the original Lemmings got ported to absolutely everything. Lemmings 2 didn't, but it did get mouse support for this console, so it was ported to. Now, see, clicking on this rope guy and then making the rope by clicking elsewhere is it's very not Lemmingsy to me. It's just, it all feels like it should flow better than. They didn't stop. And they made the Lemmings Chronicles, which is a terrible game, and I would never do anything so stupid as to waste your time with a video of it in the panel like this one. I would never do such a thing. You can immediately see, I think, with this one that the charm's just gone. They've made the Lemmings really big.
They're too big.
Yeah. Like a lot of the appeal of the original Lemmings is they're like 8x8 pixel, like, and they've somehow managed to fully animate them. Is it 4x4 pixel, actually?
I think it's safe.
Yeah, yeah. But with this, they've made it this incredibly slow game about gathering resources. It's just not Lemmings. I don't know what they were thinking. It could have been a lot worse, though.
Could have been 3D?
Yes, and in 1995, for goodness knows only what reason, they did in fact make 3D Lemmings. And it's one of the worst games I've ever played in my entire life. So let's just have a... Okay.
Oh, no.
The thing about 3D Lemmings is, like, a lot of those things on the right there are camera controls. And when you have to spend sort of this amount of time fiddling around with the camera to try and see what's going on with your Lemmings... Here, there they go, look. The annoying thing about this game is, unlike James Bond 3, it's impossible to showcase exactly why it's bad. Because when you see someone playing it right, you think, well, I suppose it looks vaguely possible. But it's not. You just have to take my word for it on that one. It's just not good in the slightest. See, look at it. Look, there you go. I just thought that was an amusing screenshot I wanted to highlight for people. There were a few other spin-offs, like Lemmings Paintball, which was like an isometric cannon fodder-ish kind of game. And there was Lemmings Revolution, which was the same as the original Lemmings, except they set it all around these rotating towers, which was an interesting gimmick, but not much more than that. And because I'm going to wrap this up, there's one other good Lemmings game I want to highlight. There's some Lemmings games. That's just a picture of some Lemmings games. It's this one, okay? It's The Adventures of Lomax. Now, this is a weird meta attempt to make a mascot within a mascot, because the Lemmings are themselves mascots, are they not? But this game was making a mascot platformer out of the mascot puzzler. And if you don't think this game looks amazing, then you are mistaken. People aren't gasping like I thought they would be. Sprite work by our boy Henk Nieborg, you know, does a lot of stuff for Way Forward, has done a lot of stuff for Amiga label Ironheart. Now, I'm not going to come out here and try and tell you that this game is like incredible, because it's obviously not incredible. It's quite rudimentary as platformers go, but it's so good looking that I think it carries the whole thing. And the music is wonderful. It's not stupidly long. It's not too short. It's just a really enjoyable little platformer with the Lemmings in it. And unfortunately, it never got any kind of sequel, though oddly it is sort of a semi-spiritual sequel to another game, which is called Flink and has nothing to do with the Lemmings. It's all so confused. Do you think the Lemmings ever come back, and why haven't they?
Who owns them now? Isn't it like
Sony owns them, and they're doing nothing with it. They're just sitting on it. I hate them.
I mean, we could be right now. We could be playing a Lemmings and Qbert mashup, and we're not getting it.
You know what makes me very cross, though, is why am I not playing Lemmings on my phone right now all the time, every day? It seems like the biggest no-brainer in the world.
Yeah, someone should tell Sony that it makes video games, because it doesn't seem to realize that.
That is very true.
It's too busy making TV shows about video games.
That'll do it.
No,
and yet not a Lemmings show.
I'll freely admit that this hasn't been the most polished of all of the things that we've ever done here, but the point is, neither were the games.
It's the most polished thing you've ever done here.
Oh, thank you. It is. You're right. Yeah, thank you very much. But no, neither are the games, neither are the mascots themselves, and I think they represent a rough and readiness that some British people exhibit. And, you know, I like to think of myself in a way as the British mascot of Retronauts. So
it's true. That's why we hired you.
Brilliant. Not anything else at all.
Absolutely.
Just that. Fantastic.
Just to have a British mascot.
Thank you. Oh, that makes me feel really happy, Jeremy. Thank you.
Kind of like, you know, we had Alex Kidd and then we had you.
Yeah, okay, all right, fine. I don't really like being compared to him, but that's fine. I guess all I really want to say to people is, like, I'm well aware that some of this stuff is not very good, you know? And I think that the general batting average for the mascots along the lines of the Japanese mascots, maybe the US, especially the Japanese mascot characters and some of the US just mascot characters, is much higher. But I look at these guys, and I look at Manic Miner, and I look at Horace, even stupid old Horace, you know, and I just feel like we need this. Because someone needs to make the others look good, right? You know, without Horace, no one would care about Mario, because it would just be like, just a guy. But then you'd be like, wait a minute, that looks like an actual guy, kind of. And Horace doesn't at all. So without that point of comparison, you know, we've got nothing, and Nintendo just frankly flounders. Thanks very much for watching my little what would you call that? Exhibition. A parade of mascot characters. Obviously there are many others like Jack the Nipper, which we just didn't have time to, despite Kevin's begging me to include Jack the Nipper in this. I just ran out of time.
He's a rude little baby.
He's a horrible little baby no one likes. And yeah, I urge you all to go and play these games if they look good to you, and even if they don't, I think you should play them anyway, and you should you know, I guess raise your appreciation for the other games that are better than them.
You know, without Horace, we would have never gotten Solid Snake's, you know, juicy butt.
You're absolutely right about that.
And I leave you with that.
Yeah, cheers. They're actually applauding. They applauded. Yes. If I'm ever permitted to do another one of these, I'll know how to do it now. So it'll be much better than that. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful. Thank you. I hope that was fun.